Matt Lenihan, Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight, so we're here. Carl Frampton, getting the last bit of makeup off after your TV stint.
Yeah, great night again. A load of good fights, and the icing on the cake at the end there. What a fight!
How are you scoring that? I've not seen the judges' scorecard because obviously I know it ended in the last round, but how were you seeing the fight?
I had Paul's 2 up going into the last round, and obviously then if Nathan Heaney had to get up from the knockdown, he's won by quite a distance on my card anyway. But great fight. It looked like it was easy for Nathan Heaney the first 3 rounds anyway, and even parts of the 4th round until the knockdown. Then after the first knockdown, it just kind of seemed to unravel for him. And Brad Paul's. I mean, it's a lovely story, and you could see the emotion, you could hear the emotion in his voice and everything. It's nice. It's nice.
Chantelle Cameron as well, a new trainer, new promoter, back doing a thing. A good victory tonight.
Yeah, it was. I give it to Chantelle by a mile, and one judge had it
a draw.
Yeah, it's strange. I've no idea. Absolutely no idea what she was watching. But that's what happens sometimes in boxing. I always just think, even though it'll be forgotten about because the right winner won the fight, but you gotta be looking at that judge saying like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? There's no way I could have been a draw.
But you know, like after a fight, you'll know you had it through your career, like I'm doing with you now a little bit, as much as it annoys you, like we stick cameras in your face kind of thing. Sometimes you run off raw emotion. These judges, it seems to me like a decision gets made, gets forgotten about. Obviously, the right person's won, which thank God they have done. But
there's more of an uproar when if Chantelle hadn't have won that, there was 2 judges give a bad scorecard or whatever. But I think it probably is just this case of that'll be forgotten about because Chantelle got her hand raised, and it's wrong.
Look, a lot of big fights coming up, so we'll just touch on them briefly. Terence Crawford versus Madrimov, exciting fight. Terence moving up in weight, Madrimov coming off a very good victory. How do you see the fight?
Oh, it's a tough fight. Madrimov is a quality fighter, but I think that, in my opinion, I mean, you can make an argument for Terence Crawford being the number 1 pound for pound on the planet. He's certainly in the top 3 anyway, with Inouye and Usyk as well. So, but moving up a division against a good fighter, it's never going to be easy. But I just think he's a bit special, Terence Crawford, and I fancy him to win it.
Let me ask you that, Dave Colwell earlier. If Terence Crawford gets through, and this isn't me looking past Madrimov, all the respect in the world for him, do you want to see him versus Canelo, or do you want to see him and Boots?
Oh, I think him and Canelo. I think Canelo's probably, without sounding...
What weight?
Well, that's the thing. What weight? I think Canelo can still do light middleweight, but he'll not want to do light middleweight. Probably middle, maybe. They could maybe do that. Canelo's... He's not a super middleweight, you know what I mean? He's maybe 5'7", he's short and he's stocky, but I think he can come down a wee bit if he wants. But he'll have it his own way. He'll have it all favourably to him. But the Canelo fight's a monstrous. The Boots Ennis fight, unbelievable fight as well. But just Canelo and Crawford, it has to be that one.
How do you see that though, playing out? Like, is it depending on weight for you to make a prediction on that? How do you see that?
No, I said after his demolition job he done on Earl Spence, and people laughed at me at the time. I said Crawford beats Canelo right now, and people laughed and mocked but people are starting to say it now. So
is that good for you looking back and fucking told you?
I think so. I know what I'm talking about at times. So it's I think that at this stage of both of their careers, Canelo loses to Crawford.
Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, huge fights at Wembley from top to bottom, by the way. Josh Warrington as well, former opponent against Anto, Cacace. Start with that one first. Someone obviously shared the ring with an Anto fellow countryman. What do you make of that? It's a terrific fight, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. It's a great fight, and 2 guys that I'm pretty friendly with. Obviously, I've got a closer relationship with Anto than Josh, but what's surprising about both of them is the records probably say they're not punchers, but I've never been hit harder in a fight than anyone by Josh Warrington, and I've never been hit harder in the gym by anyone than Anto Cacace. So I know for a fact they both can punch, but Josh he's only won 1 in his last 5. Although Anto's a little bit older, he's a lot fresher, and I think he's riding the crest of a wave at the minute, and I think that's going to be the difference.
Last one for me, Joshua Dubois. We saw a bit of streak come out in Joshua, in the head-to-head, in the behind the scenes. What do you make of that? Dubois is sort of on a bit of an up now himself. He battled back from defeats against Usyk and etc. on the way, battled demons, and you know what? Everyone says, if he hit, you get hit, stays hit. Yeah. What do you see in that fight?
Well, look, I have Joshua as the favourite, but they're 2 big, hard punching heavyweights, explosive guys, very athletic, both of them. Either man could get knocked out, but I just think that Joshua's experience, although Daniel's in great form at the minute, and he's had come through adversity in his last few fights, which we hadn't really seen from him before, so he's ticked a few boxes there, but I think you still have to have AJ as the favourite.
Final one, I mean this now because I know it's a couple of minutes. We've seen a lot of big fights. If you could make one fight in boxing now, outside of Canelo Crawford, because you've already said it, what fight do you want to see happen? Javante and Loma apparently is off the table as of a couple of hours ago as well for this year. Okay. What do you want to see?
Right, well that was the one I was going to say.
Who would you have if they fought?
Don't know. A couple of years ago I'd have said Loma without a sweat, but I just think that at this stage of his career he'll probably be winning rounds, Loma, if the fight ever happened, but I think that Gervonta Davis's power he's always got that, and I think he gets the people at some point.
Carl Frampton, appreciate your time.
Thank you, mate.